Okay. Quick audio test. Okay. Yep. We good. Okie dokie. So, now let's see. Everything's set up there. And yep. And okay, here we go. Time for European Truck Simulator. And today's topic is going to be my top 10 anime series. So, okay, I'm gonna just close a few things so we can walk here and get going. All right. Right now, in the game, am in the middle of moving empty pallets. I had a slight issue. I was gonna have this done beforehand and have a little extra money to fix up the truck. But I ran into an issue where I could not go through this region here from Banska Bystrica? I don't know, to Ostrava. So I have to go the long way. And you know what, let's do it that way. Just for the fun of it. I'm trying to get my sensitivity on my... That may be an issue. Don't worry about that. Anyway, we're gonna go through here. I'm still setting some things. Getting some things in order with the sensitivity. So, on my the sensitivity on my controls, but we're gonna get right into this. I hope that audio's fine. I hope I can be hauled over the truck. I got it set a little... Oh, come on now, don't do this to me. I'm having trouble. No. Oh. Did I get... Okay, now I'm having... Okay. Okay. We good. Okay. We got about 10 animes to go through here and about 18 honorable mentions that I want to get on the through the agenda. My number one top anime is Fooly Cooly, 2006 episode series. It was made by Studio Gainax. It's a coming of age story about a boy named Nauta who got hit over the head by a guitar wielding alien named Haruko. Haruko? I don't know how to... I can't remember. Anyway, a robot sprouts out of his head through a wormhole created by... what was it? It was like... They called it NO, but I think it had to do with like... hormonal imbalance, being a teenager. He spawned a robot that was called Conti. The show was just wild and out there. There's all these different... You really have to listen carefully to understand what some of the things were. Like, I don't even recall the Interstellar Immigration Bureau. Woo! Not looking where I'm going. I remember Medical Mechanica. I remember the Galaxy Space Police Brotherhood. Ooh, we go. I'm having trouble with my shifters on my keyboard. Come on, come on, come on. My gear shifts on my keyboard. I am not used to this. Oh, we gotta set some... We gotta reset a few settings here. But, there's some settings I gotta reset here. Oh boy. Oh my. I was hitting like go forward for break. Oh man, I got things so messed up right now. It'd be easier if I did like a forward backward, but that'd be silly. What I need is actually to that just about gave me a heart attack. Okay, I hate to raise steering sensitivity, but if I keep the non-linear low, I think I can deal with it. I hope. That might walk. Anyway, back to Fooly Cooly. Naota was this like teenage boy. He goes to like middle school. He's getting ready for junior high, and when he gets into he's got all this stuff going on that, you know, kids got going on, but he's also got a lot of baggage. His dad's like a convenience store owner who writes magazines, and his brother left for America, and his brother's girlfriend that he left behind is like just hanging on to him because it's the closest thing she had left, and there's just all that weird drama going on, and Haruko, the space alien, just makes it worse, and all these robots sprouting out of his head. He grows horns. Innuendo there. Hell, the whole show is an innuendo. Fooly Cooly is not the actual name of the show. The Japanese name of the show is Fooly Cooly, which American translation is we'll just go with pubic hairs. So that was a weird. It was just weird. It was like the whole show was just like. It was just like I said, it's a coming of age story. He's trying to get over all these hang-ups of childhood and grow as a person. And there's all these innuendos for, you know, hormones and being a teenager. So it was a really crazy show. My number 2 spot on my list is dedicated to something very special to me. Another show that really got me through my own middle school, high school years. Seeing it on the late night Adult Swim anime block was Eureka 7. That was a 2005 series made by Studio Bones, I believe. It was 50 episodes long, and it was a love story. Poor little Renton Tholston. He was gonna grow up to be someone cool. He wanted to be just like his hero, Holland Novak, leader of the Gecko State, a unit that rebelled from the military. They're like peace-loving hippies that broke away from. They were an ex-military unit that broke away from the what was it called? My notes here. the United Federation Force. The whole story takes place like 1,000 years in the future, in the year 3000. Humanity left Earth when it got attacked by the scub coral, which was absorbing whole cities. It was an alien plant life. And so humans developed the technology to leave Earth on basically an ark. You know, they got all biblical with it. I think they had the 144,000 and all that crazy, you know, just to add, you know, some more oomph to the story, because they, you know, every good story is based on another story. All that gibberish that don't really, I mean, I understand it has to be inspired by something, so. But anyway, humanity left Earth for 700 years and returned. Well, they didn't think they returned. They found another inhabitable planet, which, I gave away something bad, I'm sorry. They found another inhabitable planet, wink wink. And by then the human race was went back to kings but anyway, they had flying robots now. They found this planet had light waves that they could fly upon using special material. So they made surfboards that their giant robots could fly on, because they based giant robots on these weird skeletal structures of giants they found in the ground. And they designed these things called LFOs to fly through the sky. They're basically metal encased robotic things. I don't even know how to describe it. But what's crazy is Renton, he wants to be so much like his hero, Holland Novak, that one day when his grandfather's shop gets blown up by the military in the search for a special device for one of the LFOs, a legendary LFO, Type 0, the prototype. He ended up falling in love with the girl who was the pilot. Her name was Eureka. And he fell for her, and he wanted to follow her, and he did. And then he found out she actually worked for Holland, and he actually joined the Gecko State, which was like a rebel faction that branched off from the military, taking a high-tech stealth aircraft called the Gecko. And oh god, the music's all techno. I highly recommend looking up the soundtrack to Eureka 7. Probably the #1 song from the original soundtrack was Get It By Your Hands. It actually played a major role in the actual story. Behind that, I'd recommend Tiger Track and Acid Track. Great songs. The whole show is actually based on alternative, like counterculture. Renton's grandfather is named Axel after Axl Rose. You got his father was named what was his name? His father was named after someone. Another famous musician. You have let's see, Moondoggy, my favorite. Where do you think I got Moondog from? Moondoggy. This blonde-haired surfer boy. And his girl, Gidget. Wink wink. That's a thing going back to like 1960s. Gidget goes to Hawaii. The Gidget movies was all about Gidget and her boy. Gidget fell in love, and she ended up falling in love with Moondoggie. So there's like a whole string of like movies from the 60s with Moondoggie and Gidget that their characters were based on. I just love that show so much. It's all about being like eco-friendly. They're trying to save the planet. Let me just dial that down. And I stalled. Come on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Man, I hate playing with the keyboard, but I'm sure it makes it a lot more entertaining to hear me struggle. I hope I'm just not annoying. Anyway, moving on to number 3. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Launch the Eva! It was, the original series came out in 1995, which I like the original, I like the old school style. Also, I don't like them remaking it. I'm sure people are against me feeling that way, but I'd like to think that the guy's emotions when he made the show was, actually meant something. But Neon Genesis Evangelion is kind of another coming of age, dealing with mental disability. He had a lot of social anxiety. Everyone had he had to deal with like everyone's emotional baggage. Oh man. Could you just imagine a 14-year-old boy having to deal with everyone's emotional baggage? Everyone's just having their just absolutely all over him about. Anyway, the main character of Neon Genesis Evangelion was Shinji Ikari, and his dad was Gendo Ikari, the head of NOV, what was originally a scientific research group, turned into a paramilitary group by the shadow government known as Sele. Is this guy gonna move? Come on, bro. What they did was they made an underground research facility / fortress to fight things called... Come on, stop. Fight things called the Angels. A lot of Christian symbolism. They were basing everything on the Dead Sea Scroll. Even in the film, they were following that. Come on. Okay, here we go. Okay, and but yeah, there's a cataclysmic event that killed like 2/3 of the life on Earth or something, and they built giant robots, of course, more giant robots, and I think I'm starting to see a pattern here. But strangely enough, I've never liked, what's it called? What is that show called? Ah, man. I never watched Gundam. I can't get up to speed. Come on. But anyway, the whole show was like this kid dealing with his emotions and the emotions of everyone around him, and he just wanted to run away from his problems, and he never really got anywhere. He was always dealing with... He kept trying because he's more or less forced to. Come on, let's get this thing up to speed. I'm having so much trouble with speed with this shifter. Okay, I'm on the right track. But it was just a wild ride. It was full of emotion. A lot of people didn't like Neon Genesis Evangelion because of the they thought it was stupid. There wasn't enough action. The plot line didn't really coincide, and it didn't really end well. But the original series was actually more like... Here's the thing about the original series. It was actually never finished. The producers, from what I heard, were like spent the budget on cocaine, and that's why in the English dub at the final episode, when everything's like, it's like, congratulations Shinji, congratulations Shinji, and he's like, what is self? What am I? What am I self? What if I am me? Then what is self? And it's like, oh god, come on, man. And it was all like sketched out in pencil, and it just went on for 5 minutes, these pencil sketches of him questioning reality. And it's like, in the end credits, it's like, hello, where am I? How do we get out of here? Was Ray my mom? I don't know. Was it all a Freudian thing? It's like, where am I? I mustn't run away. I mustn't run away. But let's analyze that for a second. If I were to run away, where the hell would I go? It's like, I'm stuck on a big blue ball. And you ran out of ink too, didn't you, bastards? that actually happened. They ran out of art supplies. From what I heard, the producers used the whole end of the budget on cocaine and strippers. So that kind of ruined it, and they kind of like pushed it out to make enough money to make the movies. They made half of a movie, then they released half the movie just to get enough money to finish the movie, and then they finished the movie, which was the actual ending to the show. Somehow they made it out of that nightmare of production hell. I am gonna get down to this ramp, and I gotta check something. Oh my god. Oh, no. Slowing down. Emergency brake for just a second. I will get right back to that, I promise. Double check. Okay. Yep. We good. Okay, we good. Okay. Here we go. On to number 3. Ghost in the Shell. Bop. Da bop. Ghost in the Shell. That was an amazing franchise. I hated the live action remake. That was just an excuse to get Angelina Jolie into a catsuit. What I liked was the original movie, 1995, Ghost in the Shell. I need to go back and read the mangas, because in the mangas, supposedly Major Kusanagi is a lot more joyful and a lot more energetic and flamboyant with her gayness. Well, actually, she's bisexual. But anyway, the original... Which door do I go in? Not this one. Okay. In the original movie, it was like an expanded theory of what is self. Okay. The expanded theory of what is self with the, who am I? What makes up me? How do my experiences change who I am? A lot of the stuff Shinji was freaking out about in the finale of, what do you call it? Neon Genesis Evangelion. There was a lot of that stuff, Shinji flipping out. It was basically that, except with a more calm protagonist. Oh, I got me the bumps today. It was a lot more of a calm protagonist, or would anyway. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see if we can do this. Boop. But it was expanded on greatly, the theory of self, talking about cybernization and how that could affect their humanity, and at what point do they lose themselves with the cybernization? At what point do at what point do we lose who we are? It's like, does it really matter as long as our memories are still intact? And yeah, it was just a cool movie. Man, what I think my favorite part of that movie was how do I put it? The chase scene with the garbage truck. There was a chase scene with the garbage truck. I want to get an actual good load here going. Chase scene with a garbage truck where they found the guy that was like they were tracking a guy, and they were tracking someone else that he was talking to, and see, wrong thing. Come on. They were tracking who he's talking to. And they found the guy, and this guy was like almost like fully cybernetic, and he had he had like, I think it was like an MP5. Let's see, that's the best. I'm gonna go for that one. NBFG, boric acid. Okay. I'm gonna go for some boric acid. Anyway, the guy had like armor-piercing rounds in his MP5. And it wasn't just any, I mean, it was armor-piercing, high velocity, high, heavy volatile powder or something. I don't know. I'm not a gun person. But he braced himself. He spread his legs out into a fighting stance to take the shot. Really gripped the MP5 against his chest, and he started shooting. And the damn thing was like pushing him back as every bullet came out. He was going back like an inch or two. Oh my gosh! So that was just like showing the amount of pressure coming out. And if you ever get a chance to check out the original opening of that movie, the opening of the movie with the holographic map presenting the whoopsie, here we go, the holographic map with the helicopters flying through the city, that was all hand drawn, one frame at a time. But it looks computer generated. So that was awesome. The full series that was published in 2002. The series, it was a whole 52 episodes, the standalone complex. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that was 52 episodes. Let's see, where's my job? There we go. The 52 episodes for standalone complex. They actually made theatrical versions that you can like watch in like under 3 hours, with all like the highlights and main points, and they've edited it so well that you don't really miss much. So you could actually almost watch it as a movie if you wanted to get the solid state. I think it's called Solid State Society. I think. But the standalone complex was about the standalone complex. They were tracking down the suspect of a hostage situation, who they had no leads because he covered his face in real time. It turns out he was an activist bringing awareness to a degenerative disease, scoliosis of the brain, on the early age brain cases where they put people's brain into a box to anyway, they, the whole cybernization, getting people into their cybernetic selves. They had to, anyway, it was cool. They had to track this guy down. They had to figure out why he was doing it. The show, it had their individual episodes. Why is engine's not stopped? Okay. And it was really cool how they a lot of politics. It's a special operations unit that's actually a top secret unit. It was a top secret special operations unit of the I don't think they were police. They were actually, come on, gotta accidentally hit the engine instead of parking brake. They were Sector 9. The lead was Major Kusanagi, which is a android lady, and they had like optic camo, where they would like hide their they could hide themselves through bending light waves around them somehow. And they had a sniper who had like he lost an eye, so he got a cybernetic eye. Bato was the big strong man. He walked out even though he had like cybernetic limbs, and his strength was already that like 10 times of a normal man. It was weird. But each case, it wasn't all brute force. It wasn't all just shooting. There was political implications. At one point, they had to deal with a man who had diplomatic immunity. It was all over the place. They had to figure out how to arrest a man with diplomatic immunity on a law about treason. Oh man, it was crazy. Crazy show. And the second series was even crazier. The second series, the Ghost in the Shell Second Gig 2004 series, that one was only 26 episodes. It followed post World War III. Chinese refugees were staying in the slums of West Tokyo, East Tokyo. Oopsie. Come on. The slums of East Tokyo. Come on. The slums of East Tokyo. The Chinese refugees were staying there. There's like tens of thousands of Chinese refugees that were there, that were displaced from World War III, non-nuclear World War III. I think it was. But what was crazy was there's so many of them, and in Tokyo, in the show, that the Japanese government basically let that side of Tokyo turn into slums. So they were all living in poverty. They weren't getting necessary supplies. They were cut off from the rest of the country. So they decided, we want our own sovereignty. They wanted to make their own country in West Tokyo, their own breakaway region. And they had this crazy freedom fighter guy that was revolutionary, Ro. His name was Ro. And he was just this guy who everyone was going behind, and everyone's just like, he's just like Castro. He's so cool at this and that, and he's the revolutionary. He's the man of the people. And by the end of it, somehow the U.S. uses the whole thing as a precursor to try and launch a nuke, and tag it on China. It was just it was just so out there. Kusanagi doesn't know. In that series, it's like, really, what are you doing? Oh God, that happened. There's so many things messed. That was a messed up episode. They disguise the cocaine as porcelain figurines. Oh my goodness. Moving on to number 5 on my list is Cowboy Bebop, the 1985 series. And hopefully may we forget the Netflix adaptation, and hopefully that can burn in a fire one day and never be seen ever again. I'm sorry, blue car. I smacked him. Oh man, oh my gosh. Cowboy Bebop is a 1998 series of I don't know how many episodes. I think it was something like 26. I didn't write that down, damn it. I'm disappointed in myself. It follows the misadventures of a bounty hunting group, misadventures of a group of bounty hunters in space with great music. The main characters are Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, Edward Wang, and Ines, the dog. Oh yeah, that was a good show. My favorite character has to be Edward. Good old radical Edward. Super hacker. Oh boy. Faye promised if Ed did her a favor, Ed could become a member of the Bebop. Oh god, he took control of the ship with like an RC plane controller, started flying it around. And there's those 3 old men. Everywhere they went doing their bounties, there's always 3 old men. And it's always, one was just kind of quietly agreeing, one was always complaining, and another one was just like, you old fool, that ain't what happened. I was the one doing that. Like, I built a fence 15 miles long. Like, you old fool, we all did that. Yep, we sure did. But they go on crazy adventures. Sometimes there's been a few that was on like almost paranormal. They always track a bounty. They're always starving because they barely make enough money to make ends meet. They usually cause so much collateral damage that a good portion of the money they own always went to either paying for damages or repairing their own stuff. It was a good show. Spike was ex-syndicate. Jet Black was a retired police detective. Faye Valentine was a 6-year-old woman who was cryogenically she was like 80. She was actually an 80-year-old woman who was cryogenically frozen at the age of 16 due to a warp gate incident that blew up her spaceship, and they froze her for 60 years, and she only aged about, I think she only aged something like 8 years over 80 or over 60 or something. I don't know. She was an old woman, but she looked 24, and her body was about that of a 24-year-old. So she only aged a minute amount. Like I said, Radical Edward was a hacker who was more or less abandoned by his father, who was a crazy geologist. Ein's the dog was a science experiment where they locked up corporate passwords to documents that could, like, end people's careers. They hid the password in the genetics of the dog, and then somehow they wound up with it, and they had no clue, and everyone's just like, whatever. The show was just... There's just so many crazy shows, like, or episodes. Mad Puro, they ran across a genetically modified super soldier whose mind had cracked. He just went insane. All he ever did was laugh. And he was completely frightened of cats. Or a cat with 2 different colored eyes, which comes in handy later once you find out more about Spike's backstory. But, yeah, it was just a... Anyway, the guy could float and levitate because he had like a specially designed super suit, and he dressed like almost like a giant round floating clown. Why does that sound familiar and give me nightmares? I'll think of what movie that's from. Maybe Spawn? I don't know. Anyway. Let's see here. Let me flip through my notes. Oh, the movie really quick. There was a 2001 movie that released only in Japan. And the reason it released only in Japan was this movie was in the make since like 1998. But when they finally got it done in 2001, they released it in Japan, and it had a November release date for America. And the whole story and premise of this show that was supposed to release, the Cowboy Bebop movie, Knocking on Heaven's Door, release date was set for 2001 November. The whole premise was the gang, the Bebop gang, they wind up in the epicenter of a biological terror attack on a major city, and they end up joining the manhunt for the guy who detonated the explosives. So yeah, that they were like, you know, this may not sit well with an American market, and they put it in their vault for 10 years. They already had it dubbed, and it was ready to go out, but you know, releasing a movie about a terror attack in a metropolitan area after September of 2001 was not a good idea, so they withheld it. They were afraid people would get the wrong idea. But it was a great movie. It supposedly took place in between the final episode and second to final episode. So let's stay on the road while I flip my papers. Going to number 6. Number 6. Afro Samurai. God. Afro Samurai. 2007. 5-episode series. hit my parking brake because that cop freaked me out. Afro Samurai was a 2007. Come on, let's get this baby up to speed. 2007 series with 5 episodes. It followed a black samurai who wore the #1 headband in honor of his father. The headband offered power, omnipotence, immortality. Any man who, Any man who wore its tattered grace could not escape the power. What happened was Afro's father was the #1 samurai in Japan, and he wore the #1 headband. And a man came along, a gunslinger, killed his father, chopped his head off, and took the #1 headband right in front of poor little Afro, who was voiced by none other than Samuel L. Jackson. Along with his ninja companion later in the series was also voiced by him. Anyway, to revenge his father, he went and trained and found the #2 headband, because the rule is you must have the #2 headband to challenge the #1. So he tracked down the #2 headband after training his whole life until his mid-20s. His favorite drink was lemonade. He had to get the #2 headband. He had to get past, I think it was the Brother 6. There's these old men. They were the 6 brothers. One was a cyborg. One was a gambling man. Another one was a bit wiser. Another one was I think a ninja. There's a few of them. I can't even remember all of them. But they were. He had to go through them to get the information on where the #2 headband was, or to get the #2 headband. And when he got the #2 headband, he went and challenged the man to a duel for the #1, and of course, we all see where that goes. But all along this crazy journey. My gosh, nope. That wasn't good. Whee! All along this crazy journey, he had a ninja companion. Can this guy in front of me move? Did I total him completely? Is he gonna... There he goes. Anyway, this ninja companion, also voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, kinda portrayed his conscience. Always going telling him, Afro, come on, go after the sucker. He ain't nothing to you. Kill him. You ain't gotta be all formal. Just because he respects a brother, you don't have to be formal. Oh man, that was such a... Come on, let's go. Anyway, yeah, he was always there messing around. He's like, I got your back, Afro, come on. And Afro would just be like, shut the hell up. Just telling him off like, I don't need this right now, leave me out, stay out of it. So it's like his conscience, really. And no one ever noticed the ninja was ever there, which was kind of funny. So it's almost like he was so good at shadowing him that no one even realized. People would be like, who are you talking to? At some points. It was a good show. There was a movie. They made a movie in 2009. It was a lot of the same. Well, if I could quit hitting E, the 2009 movie went a little deeper into his childhood, why he liked lemonade. It went into a backstory of a few characters, why the hell a cyborg samurai had a teddy bear head and rode a motorcycle with his hot sister who was actually in her like 20s, and she was like, I don't know, there was a lot of like oh my gosh, God. There was a lot of promiscuity in the show that I mean I could have think that it could have done a little bit without, but also, I mean, you gotta know your target audience. What did I do in neutral? I'm in neutral. I'm in, oh, no. Come on. I am in neutral. There was a lot in the show that I thought could have been left out. Like how she was like teasing the scientist guy to do medical experiments to progress her own personal goals. It was weird. I'll be honest, I like the series better. The series was more straightforward than the series was more straightforward than about who Afro Samurai was than the movie. The movie was like, you know, they threw in all that Christian symbolism because, oh, let's make it deep, and I don't know. They went overboard in a lot of regards, but the original series was great. The movie's alright. I mean, you can watch it if you want a little bit more Afro Samurai and a little more Samuel L. Jackson. Woo, boy. How's my parking? Oh, God. I liked Afro Samurai. Afro, no. And once we get parked here, we'll go into the number 7 slot of my favorite shows, of my favorite animes. Come on, reverse. Okay, parking brake. E. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Whew, damn. I'm running behind on some things. Let's check a few things here. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. That was a mess. This might be a little longer stream than I wanted it to be. Yeah, we're gonna look at current jobs through this company because they have some decent. Whoa, okay, we're not gonna finish that one today, but we're gonna take it up. Radiators to Italy from the Czech Republic. I'm gonna take that job because it's the longest route, and it pays $22,000. And actually, what we're gonna do right now, because I just want to waste a little bit of time, we're gonna go over here and add some goodies, and we'll just chat and get through what is left on the roster of the playlist, or left on the roster of the list. Number 7, one that probably most people have never heard of. Abenobashi, magical shopping arcade, Abenobashi. Yeah, that was a 2002 anime series of 13 episodes. It followed the childhood friends. Let me check my notes here. I always forget how to say her name. Shitoshi and Arumi. Living near an outdoor shopping center. Let's get these off. Living near the outdoor shopping center of Abenobashi, where they break a magical seal which was holding reality together. So it warped reality when they broke the seal, changing reality into their wildest fantasies. Like one episode, they were space police, or they're space police who turned into space pirates, and then they were in a dinosaur world, the next one, and it turns out it was all things that they wanted to be in, all worlds they wanted to be, because every time they shifted realities into these crazy worlds, all the people stayed the same. Their friends, their family were there. These three goals would end up being one episode they were the space police, and their grandfather was something. Another episode was like giant robot, like doing the Astro Boy thing, and the grandpa was like the professor, and they kept doing these weird incidents all through the show. Oh, that wasn't bad. The damages were cheap, except for maybe that car that I rolled over. But they kept warping into these. They thought they were going from world to world through different realities, but what was happening was they were like they were projecting their own, like, what they wanted the world to be. It's like the goal came to terms that the boy was wanting to live in these crazy worlds and have fun and just be a weird goofball. And then things took a weird tone. The boy realized he was making up excuses. But the goal didn't realize the grandfather, who at the beginning of the show fell over but was all right. He wasn't all right. He didn't make it through the fall, and it was really sad. So what was actually going on was the goal thought the boy didn't want him to go back to reality, thinking he was just, making things goofy because he was goofy and was having fun, but really it was the boy didn't want her to lose her grandfather, and it was oh God, it was so painful. And then they found out the secret that the world, that the shopping arcade was built based on geometry that could warp reality, and that's what brought him such good luck. And by warping the reality the way they wanted it to, the shopping arcade was always doing well and was always making money, and that was the premise of why the arcade was built. But they end up like flying through time and dealing with grandparents, and oh my gosh, and meeting their grandparents who they didn't even know they had, and at one point they flew a Huey helicopter from the Vietnam War. They flew that thing into like Edo period Osaka, and it was like the grandfather's best friend was like a never aging wizard who understood how the reality warping stuff worked, and it was so far out there. But at the end, it was just a sad ending. But it's so worth watching. It's just, if you end up liking like any of those crazy shows that don't make sense, and then you find out at the end there's like a huge twist of a meaning to everything, that's something to watch. I'm gonna just get everything painted today. I didn't quite get enough money for all the modifications I was looking for, but we're gonna get a matching paint job on this. We're doing the shade in the colors that I pick. And we're also going to move on to the number 8 on the list, which is Watamote, or no matter how I look at it, it's your guy's fault I'm not popular. The show is very cringy. It's a 2013 anime, and it is about an unpopular girl with social anxieties who wants to be popular, and she tries all these ways to try and be popular, and it's very cringy. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's, some unpopular person that does these cringy things trying to get friends. And anyway, the show is basically her just being cringe, going, brother, you must help me. I have played over 500 dating sims. I have been a high schooler over 1,000 times and have dated 14,000 guys. I have simulated the high school experience over 14,000 times. I don't understand. Why do the guys not find me attractive? The whole show is just like that. She tries to put her hair up into ponytails and it doesn't look good. Unlike this sweet paint job. Anyway, she does oh my gosh. She tries all these ways to be popular. Come on. She tries all this stuff to be popular. She tries to go to a coffee shop and order a fancy frappe to make her look cool. She goes she just tries everything. And along the way, she is nothing but cringe. Oh, come on, dude. You had plenty of time to get through there. Making it hard on me. And, oh, yeah. Looking good. Okay. But anyway, the whole show is just her being cringe, not accepting that she can't be popular, and don't want that. I mean, she tries to do makeup, and it looks bad. It made her brother puke when she did makeup, and she just her nerdy friend that she called, and she's like, hey, I haven't seen you since middle school. You want to hang out? And then she hangs out and oh my god, she's popular. She's beautiful, she's popular. But she's still annoyed, and they still hang out and have fun. And anyway, she ends up by the end of the series, doing the whole acceptance thing. But it's just kind of she just can't understand why she ain't popular. She tries everything, and it's because she's trying too hard to be cool, like every teenager has ever done. It was a good one. And speaking of teenagers trying to be cool, number 9 on my list is actually Cromartie High School. Cromartie High School. Okay. Cromartie High School was a 2003 anime with a whopping 26 episodes. Oh my goodness, I think they might have been like half episodes, but anyway. It's a parody of the bad boy high school style anime. It's like I'm so bad that people know I'm bad, and they're like, oh yeah, well I'm so tough. They call me so and so, victory by default. Like how do you know you're tough if you've never won a fight? Like I don't know. Then there's that one kid. It's like, and my name is nobody cares. I'm like, what do you mean nobody cares? I was gonna tell you my name. And like, it's all right. We don't need to know your name. We already know you're here. Like, then why can't I say my name? Because the time has already passed. All through the show, it's like, you guys finally showed up for my birthday. And it's the only thing I really want is for you guys to know my name. My name is, and like, hey look, it's it's that one guy. And like, no, that is not me, that is my mother. And like, hey, happy birthday, whatever your name is. And like, that is my mother. And then there's the gorilla that makes sushi. There's like a gorilla. In one class, there's like a gorilla. And there's also Freddie Mercury. The rich kid accidentally joins the municipal high school, thinking it was a private high school. And like, I shall use my father's influence to manipulate these people into respecting me. And I will form this high school into under my own private agenda and my own ideals, and create my own army of delinquents. And it's like, oh god, it's like, dude, your dad has no bearings here. This is a municipal high school. Exhibit A. Our uniforms are black. Yours is white. Like, oh my god, they're right. The guy opened the door. He opened the door. He's like, I shall teach these people to be my something. I don't know. He's like, basically told him into his peons, just have him sit there and do whatever he tells them to do. Like, they shall fear me. He opens the door and Freddie Mercury's standing there, and it's like guitar solo. Da, da, da. And like what? And like, he closes the door. He's like, his lackey's like, and it actually labels him his lackey. Lackey's like, what's wrong? You closed the door. Like, there was a guy. I mean, like, well, yeah, there's gonna be lots of tough guys. Like, no, you don't understand. This guy was different. He had chest hair. Like, what? And like, listen, we'll go in and check again. Open the door and like, get up, Freddy. Get up, Freddy. Get up, Freddy. Come on, Freddy. You're sitting in the wrong seat, Freddy. They're slapping his head and like, get up, Freddy. This is my seat. And like, look, you dumbasses. We're in the wrong classroom. Guess what, Freddy? We came to the wrong classroom today. Ain't that funny? And and his lackey's just like, what the? He closes the door again, and like, his lackey's, what happened? I didn't really get a good look. And like, I don't know. And like, listen, we'll both go in there together, and we'll take care of this guy. He's just a guy. And they open the door, and there's a gorilla. There's like a 600-pound gorilla standing in the doorway as they open it. And they both close the door, and it's like, what the hell's even going on here? So, Cromartie High School was just so far out there. My favorite episode, there's one guy with like an afro and purple sunglasses, and his afro is like just massive, and everyone's like, he's the coolest man in school, he's a total badass. And he's like, he's always he's like, look at him, he don't hardly talk, he's always contemplating his thoughts. And he's just standing there and he's thinking, if only these people knew, all I want in life is to be a comedian. For people to understand the comedic values of proper stand-up comedy, then they would understand that the true meaning of life is laughter. And he's just thinking all this stuff, and they think he's like thinking of how to be like an evil, badass, like head of a gang, and really he just wants to be a comedian. Oh man, that guy was good. He's my second favorite after Freddy. That guy's gonna have a head-on collision. Oh my god. It was rear view mirror. The guy behind me's just like tried to pass me. I'm doing 80. Anyway, number 10 spot's coming up here. Lucky Star. Hi, Luckies. Anyway, number star, 2007 anime with 24 episodes. It was a slice of life anime about 4 high school friend goals. They're just like four high school goals who are friends. You know, you had the node. You had the smart naughty one. You had the... He passed me. Gas, 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 come on, step on the gas. Okay, it was about 4 high school goals. You had you had the geek who was really short with long hair. She was super athletic, but all she cared about was anime. And then you had the serious one, who was kind of grumpy all the time and tried to keep everyone like in line so they could be proper people. And then you had like her sister, which was like the ditz that didn't really... Oh my god, I just realized I left an anime off this list that was crucial on the honorable mentions. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, there's the ditzy sister who was just like really laid back, a little too laid back, and don't want to clip that. And then there was the I stalled out. I refuse to be stalling. People will respect me after I perish. Okay, there was then there was like the really smart goal in the group. Come on, bro, don't do this to me. You keep slowing down. This really smart girl in the group with the glasses, and who couldn't see nothing without her glasses. And what the... That's under construction. We're gonna rubberneck. Okay. And it was just stupid things. They talked about weird, stupid things. It's like, Konata, why don't you join the sports club? You're really athletic. Yeah, but if I do that, I can't get home in time for my primetime anime shows. And then there was, it was just silly things. It was just super laid back, and they would just talk about stupid things. It was a slice of life. It was just absolute slice of life. They just chatted. It was like before podcasts existed. They were just like sitting there talking it's like I don't know. It's like I mean, just stupid things. You know, they just basically chatted the whole episode, like they had like a whole skit where they're just like, it's like, thank goodness I'm stupid, I can't catch a cold. And they're like, I don't think it works that way. Like, I think you're talking about, no, thank goodness I'm stupid, I can't catch the flu. And like, I don't think it works that, I was like, I think you're talking about colds. And like, ain't colds and flus the same thing? I thought the flu was just an advanced version of the cold. And then the smart girl steps in like, influenza is actually a virus, where a cold is actually just an immune deficiency. And they're like, so you're saying they're not the same thing? Like, I mean, I guess a common person could say that a flu is just a stronger cold. And like, I knew it, I was right. I mean, it was just the stupidest things. It's like they're telling the smart girl, why don't you get contact lenses? It's like, you're always complaining about your glasses, why don't you buy contact lenses? Like, to tell you the truth, I'm afraid of contact lenses. And then she's freaking out outside the optometrist and like, wow, I think she's actually gonna go get contact lenses. And then she bops her head into the, smacks her head into the sign that said optometrist, and she runs off crying like, oh. It's like, no, I'm often quite forgetful. I'm often quite forgetful. Sometimes I trip over my own feet. Sometimes I get the corner of my tote bag caught in the train door. Sometimes I drop my glasses and I can't see anything. It's like those ain't faults. Those are moe points. Like, moe points? Clumsy is sexy. Lucky Star was just like, just slice of life, stupid. Just chatting. Cute anime girls talking about stupid things. And then they had their after show, which is like this like little idol girl and her assistant, Shiraishi. Why do I remember his name better than the actual cast? Oh god, Shiraishi. Anyway, the little anime girl that's like supposed to be an idol doing the after show, she comes on and she's like, hi Luckies, how did you like the show today? We're here to answer all your fan mail. And like, ain't that right, Shiraishi? He's my super special assistant for the day. And like, I will do my best. And like, what was that? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, what was that? I mean, seriously, did they just set me up with an amateur? I've been doing this since I was like 7 years old. What the hell's wrong with you? Grow some backbone. Like, I don't understand. I'm very honored to be here today. Like, my name is Shiraishi. Like, who's that? Just kidding. Like, oh gosh, she was a butt. It's like, and like, the false fan mail letter is, Miss So-and-so, how much do you get paid? What? I mean, this is a pretty personal question asking about income. I mean, my pay? Yeah, well, let's just skip this one. Like, yeah, really, let's just skip this one. I mean, really, who would ask someone about their pay? I mean, I get paid by the job, but I mean, it all gets direct deposited in my mother's bank account, and she takes so much money, and I swear, she's been buying a lot of name brand bags lately. It's like, that witch, she's gonna suck me dry. Just because Dad left you, you're gonna take all my money. Like, okay, we're out of time for today. Oh no, that's bad. Let's buy our Luckies. Oh god, it was stupid. The whole Lucky Star. Dude, I am like almost an hour and 20 minutes. I'm an hour and 20 minutes this, and I'm losing my mind. But we are finally hitting the honorable mentions. One that I forgot for the honorable mention category is, I'd have to say, Azumanga Daioh. Azumanga Daioh is another slice of life. It has a much larger cast. They're a lot more, I don't know how to put it, a lot more free-flowing. That one was a good one. I'm ashamed I totally forgot about Azumanga Daioh. I wish I was a bird. Like, oh, you look like Prime Minister Abe. And like, what did you say to me? How dare you insult me? Are you calling me old? You're like no, oh no. Gosh. Oh no. That was terrible. They had a Japanese voice actor trying to say American words who couldn't speak American. It came out bad. But I don't know. I mean, you could watch the, I mean, I had a copy that had like the English, I had the subbed and dubbed version, a copy with that, so I watched both, and there were portions in the subbed where they had the actors try to say American lines. It did not work good. Anyway, rest of the honorable mention list. Oraimo. My sister can't be this cute. And did I clip him? Nope. Okay, we're good. Okay. Oraimo was about a girl. It was actually about a boy who had a stepsister. And she kept buying these inappropriate dating sims because she thought the characters really cute, and she had like a really bad problem buying these things, and she would order them under her brother's name, and the packages would show up, and it was like really messed up because it was like a dating sim about dating your sister, and she was the one playing them, and she had a huge massive collection hidden away in her closet behind a bookshelf, and she had like $15,000 worth of merch, and her brother found out, and she's like, I can't let people know my hobby. Like, what if we find you? It's like, I'm a model, I'm super popular, people can't know. Like, okay, what if we just find you some naughty friends? What will my popular friends think if I have naughty friends? Like, well, you want someone to talk about this with, and I ain't gonna do it. Anyway, the next one on honorable mentions is Princess Jellyfish. A cross-dressing son of a politician helps a nunnery fight urban renewal caused by his own father. Yeah, and this nunnery is filled with 20 and 30-something-year-old girls who never got a job, which the formal definition would be neats, which they disagree with. And the main girl likes jellyfish. Her mother passed away, and she's doing the dearest mother journal entries every so often. Like, I found a princess who's actually a boy. I guess the manga had a longer run, and the series kind of died off after the full season. There was some issues. It was an interesting show. Why can't I slow down? Did I mention I My Me Strawberry Eggs? I think I skipped that one. I My Me Strawberry Eggs is about... I don't want to clip that thing. That thing will totally wreck me. I My Me Strawberry Eggs was another anime with like a cross-dressing main character. It was about a teacher. He came to school to teach. Why did that guy just stop? Okay, and the principal of the school is like, this is a women's only school. Even though we are forced to, I think it was like, even though we're forced to have male students, we will only have female staff because that is what we believe, or something. I can't remember. Do they have male students? I don't know. It's a female-only academy, or female ran academy. I don't know. Something about the motto is only a mother knows best, or something. So this grumpy old woman, landlord lady that this guy's renting from, wants to get paid, so she dresses him up, gives him a voice modulator, necklace, a fake rack, and teaches him the art of makeup so he can be the teacher that he always wanted to be, plus high heels. And it ain't as creepy as the news today. Though there was an incident in the show that even he was uncomfortable with. It was a weird show. Another honorable mention was Gulls Bravo. Gulls Bravo was a show about a boy who is allergic to gulls, and for some reason the gulls were all over him, and they'd start grabbing him, and he would start breaking out in hives. And of course, the sleazy rich boy who wore velvet gloves for some reason, which is quite well shown. Anyway, he's very jealous of him. Somehow the boy meets an alien from another dimension, where the dimension is like 90, it's like 90% women. There's only one man to every woman, and so women are like all over the men, and it was weird. And then I think there was an episode there might have been an episode with dinosaurs. I don't remember. Maybe I was sick, and maybe that was a fever dream. I don't know, but yeah, he falls in love with like this alien princess from another dimension. And something about magic. He finally gets cured of breaking out in hives when a woman touches him. So that was a weird one. The next entry is Looking Up at the Half Moon. Looking Up at the Half Moon was I believe it was a 6-episode romance about it was about a boy with hepatitis C. He was stuck in the hospital being treated for his hepatitis. He was being forced to get lots of rest, and he's got this terrible angry nurse that just absolutely wails on him with Slipper. Every time he's out of bed, she's always beating him and dragging him back to his bed. And anyway, the boy's out. He notices this beautiful gull in the wing across the hospital, across the courtyard. Goes to meet her. She's and he's like, oh my god, I love her. And then he starts getting along with her, and the nurse is like, you can't be with her. Just forget about it. I'm like, what's your problem? You just can't be with her. I'm like, why? Don't get her hopes up. She's got a weak heart. I'm like, what do you mean a weak heart? She's got a very weak heart, and if she starts feeling strong emotions, she could die. She was born with a heart that has the consistency of tofu. Oh god. The goal at the end, the nurse's friend ends up getting into a relationship with the goal. They fall in love. Then the nurse's friend seduces him, takes him home, ruins his goods, and my lights aren't on. And in the end, what ends up happening there is, can I wiggle through here too? Yeah, nice. In the end, it's like, you never tell her this, she'll die. And like, okay. But he gets the absolute, oh my god, he gets a scolding of his life. And he ends up dating the goal. She gets a heart transplant after a 48-hour surgery, so she gets, with the heart transplant, it gave her like 3 more years to live, like literally 48-hour surgery for an extra 3 years, and she ends up dying. They got married and they lived together for like 3 years after the heart transplant, and it's like, oh, it's so sad, she died, and it's like, that's the end of it. Like, oh my god. Oh my, it was a trip. Next in honorable mentions, panty and stocking with garter belt. Two misfit angels struck from heaven by God. One has a terrible lust. The other has a terrible appetite. They are literally lust and, let's see, out of the 7 deadly sins, they are lust and, what is that one where you eat a lot? Gluttony. They're literally lust and gluttony. They went to live with a priest named Garterbelt. And the priest is, oh my god, he had a backstory. He had a backstory. Longer than time. He was such a terrible person. He was such a terrible person, and he cursed out God. Oh my gosh. He had to witness all of humanity. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Panty and Stocking, they have to fight ghosts and collect heaven coins, and they have to collect 1,000 heaven coins to gain their way back into heaven. And in the meantime, Panty's goal is to bang 1,000 guys, and Stocking's goal is to eat everything she can. And it's also produced by Studio Gainax, which probably consists of like 1/4 of the list. But anyway, they end up Panty falls in love with a kid named Briefs, who's actually a complete nerd, and she hates him. But whatever. She finds out he's actually handsome and rich later on, and then she falls for him, and she's like, oh my god, I threw him away. And it became true love, and things happened, and they fought these 2 demon sisters, and the mayor was like a king demon, the mayor of the city, and that's why there's so many, I don't know, ghosts or something, I don't. Next on the list, don't mess with me, Miss Nagatoro. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. Oh god, that was a pretty good one. I'll have to admit, it was okay. Don't mess with me, Miss Nagatoro. I was liking that one. that mean gull that just picks on him because. Let's see how fast we can do this. Ramming speed. No, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Which one's the telepath? Telepath. No, 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 no. I didn't see the thingy. I didn't see the thing. Oh god. Oh dear god. Oh my god. That's some serious damage. We need flex tape, baby. Oh god. And Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro was about a boy who was an art student who ends up getting messed with by one of the Genguro girls. I don't know if that's... Can I even say that anymore? I think that turned into... That used to be like a thing. And I think now they actually consider that might be a discriminatory term. I don't know anymore. But anyway, one of the hot girls with the tan and the makeup, anyway, and being popular, and anyway, she messes with the art student just because she thinks it's fun to mess with him, and she actually liked his art, and it's kind of like that whole thing where the girl that likes you has to pick on you until you finally get it. It's like, just get it already. It's like, you know why she's doing it. But anyway, kids, young love, and for whatever. Anyway, that's the whole premise of that whole show. How to Keep a Mummy. Another one on the list, How to Keep a Mummy. It's a show about a boy whose father is an archaeologist and sends him cryptids. And one day his father sent him a sarcophagus. This huge stone sarcophagus, and out crawls a 3-inch mummy, and it's adorable. And he starts feeding it apple slices, and it likes it. And his friend is like, interesting. What would happen if I took his bandages off? And the mummy's like, no. Just hiding in the background, like he can't do nothing, he can't speak. Anyway, they teach the mummy how to write words, teaching it with crowns, how to draw words, and the mummy learns, and he loves it. And then the other boy gets like a dragon. No, he gets a... Oh god, my engine. The other boy had something crazy, like a... He had like a stupid little Oni, which is like a troll. A little troll baby. And him and the troll baby would always be like fighting. But they knew deep down they both loved each other, and like, yeah, whatever. We love you. Anyway, that was the whole... There was like an ending where they had to face off against a thing and some guy that was trying to steal him for money, but yeah. Come on, don't stall. Oh god, my engine's knocking. Oh, this is bad. Moving on to the next one, we got Gunsmith Cats, which I just learned about a couple weeks ago. About a girl who owns a gun shop in, I think, Chicago, and her name's, I think, Revy, or something like that, and she's got a friend who's an explosives expert who doesn't have a license, and there's an FBI agent who knows that they do not have their licenses and are selling illegal firearms. And he comes after them, and he's like, I need your help on a case. And they're just like, we don't want to. Like, well, too bad. And they end up having to walk with him. And then at one point, a Russian female hitman that's equivalent to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator rolls up. They freaking blow her up. They blow her up, make her crash into a river, and she's still after him. This Russian woman that's after these two girls has a bulletproof uniform, a bulletproof. What was the unit called? She has a bulletproof KGB uniform, trench coat. Oh my gosh, she's just the Terminator. Yeah, it was a crazy show, and they end up finding out a huge conspiracy that's political corruption and blah blah blah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to one that I really wanted to actually get on the main list, but I couldn't. Speed Grapher. Oh my God, Speed Grapher. That's just that. I could talk about that one for hours. It's about a photographer who's always looking for the most. Oh God, no. Okay, photographer. No. A photographer that looks for like interesting stories to sell, and he runs across a cult made of the upper echelon of society. Doctors, gymnastics coaches, preachers, politicians. They're all part of this secret underground society. And they are being infected with a drug. Or no, actually they're being infected with they're being infected with a virus which is neutral and doesn't affect anybody until they get the second part of the virus, which is only being carried by a 16-year-old girl who is the daughter of like a major corporation, that major electronics corporation that runs like 90% of Japan. And she's like, anyway, she's got the second part of the virus, and it's only transferred through bodily fluids. So it's basically like an STD. But anyway, this photographer starts finding these weird people with like, he follows into this cult, and he finds out that this cult has this crazy thing going on where she comes down. She is the angel that comes down from up high and bestows the kiss of a wish. And basically what happens is people are infected by this virus. And come on. I missed my stop. I ran out of... Come on, get out of the way. I missed my stop. I couldn't... Dang it. I'm dumb. Anyway, I was chatting about this anyway. The kiss transmits the part B of the virus, and when someone has part A and part B of this virus, it leads to them obtaining some sort of mutated superpower, usually in a form of which suits their psyche. Like the dentist sprouted drills, turned into a giant spider that had drills for arms. An audiophile, which that's not a terrible thing. It means somebody who really likes sound. Oh God, come on engines. Okay, an audiophile is someone who really likes audio, really refined audio. Anyway, this guy, his head turns into a massive speaker, and he starts being able to control sonic booms. He was basically causing sonic booms, making this photographer's ears bleed. And at one point, the goal accidentally gives. Anyway, at the beginning, the photographer is accidentally kissed by accident as the wrong person in the ritual, and she never knew she was actually part of the ritual. She just thought they were nightmares. And the photographer, and the main character of the story, he gains the ability to. Let's look at the map. Can I autocorrect this a little better, or can I like just break off here and? Nah, I gotta go around. See, I was supposed to go there and wiggle, so I'm just okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Anyway, he gained the ability of every time he takes a photo with his camera, he causes an explosion of the target. So, say he takes a photo of a chandelier, the chandelier just instant explosion, kind of like that Bakugo guy in like My Hero Academia. I think it's Bakugo. I've never watched the show, but that blonde-haired kid with like the grenades on his outfit. And he causes like massive explosion. It's like that, except if he required an old school camera that required film, and the film was used it was consumed in the creation of the explosions. So it's kind of like that. Do I really have to be on? Which line am I on? Okay, I'm fine. I think I'm fine. Why are we mulching? Am I supposed to be mulching? I'm mulching. I wasn't supposed to mulch. Come on. We revulsing. Maybe. Nope. Okay, we not revulsing. Damn it. Anyway. Yeah, he basically made it his mission to save the girl from the cult and kill her mother and the accountant. Oh God, there's an accountant who sprouted wings and became an angel himself. Okay, which lane do I need? Because I am going cuckoo here. Cuckoo for loops. I am going loopy for loopy loops. Come on, bro. Anyway, he made it his mission to save her, and it was crazy. Crazy show. God, which lane do I need? Milano Ferreira. Oh my gosh. We're getting close to the end. The end is near. Paranoia Agent by Satoshi Kun. Oh God, Paranoia Agents. That was a nightmare. Mass paranoia engulfed the psyche of the public to the point where their fears became a reality, a manifestation of fear, of not knowing if your neighbor is the guy running around with the baseball bat cracking people's heads in, until eventually it becomes a actual monster that roams the streets, and then eventually it oh God, it was just which one do I need? Come on, which one do I need? I think it's no, come on, bro, brain. Oh God. This one. Okay. Inner lane. I'm sweating. I'm tired. I wanted this over an hour ago. But I have to get these thoughts out. This is my time to express. Before I have to get back to homework. I'm trying so hard. Anyway, Paranoia Agent was just like... There was like mass hysteria based on a single attack, and everyone was coming up like blaming this one incident, like, oh, he attacked me. Everyone was using it as an excuse to escape their own. Nothing made sense. The police detectives that was on the case couldn't figure out why none of these attacks were lining up, because there's no evidence of the attacks other than the people saying they were attacked, and that was the reason that they couldn't go on, and then they couldn't fulfill their duties and responsibilities. And you're like, but there's no evidence. Oh my god, I don't understand it. How are all these attacks happening if no one's even being attacked? It was a weird show. Shitoshi-kun made some crazy anime. He made Perfect Blue. He was the master of the psychological thriller in anime. Samurai Champloo's on here. Kind of like Afro Samurai, except imagine like white b-boys. Like where Afro Samurai had RZA of Wu-Tang Clan. The music in the characters in Afro Samurai were more pale. You know, they're supposed to be Asian, but really they had like, I mean, one of them actually looked more Mongolian. One of them actually, hell, Mugen carried like a Chinese greatsword. He looked Mongolian. And the girl was looking for her father. I think. Was it her father? All she kept telling him was she was looking for the samurai who smelled of sunflowers. And if anyone knows anything about sunflowers, it's a European thing. So she was looking for a Dutchman. It was weird. It was just misadventures of a group of misfits. It was like if you mix Cowboy Bebop with Afro Samurai, and instead of Wu-Tang Clan, you made it into more of a hip-hop thing, like Beastie Boys. It was the soundtrack was more like kind of more hip-hop than rap. So that's Samurai Champloo from the honorable mentions list. Serial Experiment Lane, which was one of the Serial Experiment Lane was about a girl whose friend killed herself and then sent her a text message. Or no, sent her an email. Her best friend killed herself. Then her best friend sent her an email after killing herself saying that she was in the internet. And so she's just trying to figure it out. So she started, this girl who never used a computer in her life, started like trying to figure out how to use an email, and was emailing her dead friend, and her friend would email her back. So she's like, how can my friend email me back? She's dead. Maybe it's an imposter. I don't know. It don't make sense. And then she started like going on to tech forums and she ended up building a supercomputer. Reality was warping around her. She started connecting diodes to her. She was going through like VR chat rooms. She was in VR chat rooms. And this show came out in like 1990. I don't know, probably. I think it came out something like, hell, it might have came out in 1992 for all I know. It was like there's mini disc in this show. People don't even know what mini disc are. People would be lucky to remember UMDs. But anyway, she was building like supercomputers, trying to get to the bottom of this. Oh my god, this is bad. I need off here. Oh man, bro, this is gonna be the end. I'm just gonna go over the last ones really quick because they're nothing. They're so well known, everyone knows. They're gateway animes. But anyway, she basically became the god of the internet, and she went back in time and brought her friend back to life and became a living god that only existed in the internet. And it was actually used as a premise. The brothers, whatever their name, I can't remember their names. Anyway, they're sisters now. The people that made the Matrix, they used it as inspiration for the Matrix alongside Blade Runner and a few others, but this was a big one, you know, connecting into the internet. They used that, you know, and the secret agents that followed her around, monitoring her, making sure she wasn't digging any deeper, you know, being like Agent Smith. Anyway, it was whatever. But we're hitting the end of the list. Dot Hack looked cool. Never watched it. I saw like 3 episodes. Dot Hack was like Sword Art Online if it was done slightly better, but still not good. I mean, people said it didn't make sense, and it really didn't. But they had a good video game series. Imagine a video game. Imagine a PlayStation 2 game that emulates an MMO. And then your save files transfer to the next video game over like 3 or 4 video games. They did a good job with that, but it's very hard to get a hold of them legally. Anyway, the boy was unconscious. Boy was in the hospital. He put on a VR headset. He went into whatever VR land, fantasy world, and he just, you know, where am I supposed to park this damn thing? Right there? Engine malfunction. Anyway, how can I just cruise this? No, not yet. Okay, no. Oh, almost, not now. No. Break. Anyway, yep, it was basically Sword Art Online. Everyone started like getting stuck in it, and he was stuck in it and he couldn't escape, and there's more people getting stuck in it and they couldn't escape. But it was very rare incidences. It wasn't like everyone in the game was trapped. It was just a few people, and it was weird. Dot Hack was a weird show. Come on. Yeah, we are pushing this. Oh my gosh. This has gone on way too long. I'm hitting like the 2-hour mark. Anyway, yeah, the Dot Hack Online was one that I thought was cool. Never got to watch because I just didn't have the money to afford actually shelling out for the damn thing. And come on. Come on, is my parking brake on or off? I'm in neutral now. When did that happen? Anyway, Dot Hack looked cool. Dragon Ball Z looked cool, but I didn't have Cartoon Network. I wasn't one of the rich kids that didn't have the network it was on. Oh, come on. Bleach. the first 150 episodes were cool, and then it turned into One Piece. Naruto was cool. Then they made Shippuden and pushed the whole thing onto a network I didn't have. So, and then they made him an old fart with responsibilities, and he wasn't a kid no more, and all the kids turned moodies in the middle, and it was stupid. They ruined that show. Come on, no, bro. If I can just get this thing lined up. Yeah, that's the end of the honorable mentions. I'm about done. I swear I needed to go to bed. Like, I had like a math test today that was like worth like, it's like math test. The tests in my math class are worth 50% of my grades. Oh my gosh. So this test was like, it was like a semi-final basically. And I was gonna do this to relax, and I am not relaxed. Come on. I am gonna sleep like a baby though at this rate. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Tone the wheel. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Yep. Oh. Oh. We made it. My wolf score yet reasonable. I mean, I did ram the truck at full speed into a barrier, into a toll gate, so that's understandable. Oh my god. Next time I gotta make sure my notes only consist of 1 page instead of 3. Cause I went on. But let's see what we're gonna do. Let's see what I do tomorrow. Or whenever, or the next time I can actually get to this. Let's do more eco-friendly driving. I've yet to get down to the peninsula, so I'm gonna do that one next. Now the question is, where is the nearest repair? I wonder if I can I'm just gonna. $1,000. I don't care if $1,000. I'll make the money later. Oh my. But yeah, that was my top 10 anime, and I even extended about 40. It went over about by 20 minutes, and I extended another 40 just to discuss my honorable mentions. But yeah. Oh, that hold. Oh my god, $20,000 because I rammed. Oh, I only have 10. Oh, I gotta manage my drivers. Oh, this is awful. Oh my god, everything I just did didn't matter. Oh boy, but I think we're gonna cut it here, and I'm gonna we're gonna cut it here. I hope anyone who ever, I don't think I ever got a single, I got one viewer for a few minutes. For a moment, for like a minute, 2 minutes, listen to my ramblings. Oh boy, I got a whole 2-minute viewing on my 2-hour rambling. But I'm gonna cut it here. Good day, good night, goodbye, farewell. See you again next week. If anyone ever made it that far. If anyone will ever make it that far. Because next week is my top 10 video games. And that may have to be cut into franchises. Anyway. We're done. We are done.